Everyone, let's look at number 14 in section 5.3. We're going to find the general antiderivative of this function and check by differentiating. Again, your function might be slightly different, but very similar to this. When this is what they're asking for. When I'm asking this question, I'll probably just write it like this, right? This literally means what? This is the indefinite integral of this function. This is find the antiderivative of this function. And basically by the linearity properties, I can split this up, right, to finding the antiderivative of AD to the x minus the antiderivative of 7x to the negative 2. And I can further pull these constant multiples of 8 and 7 out. So literally, I'm finding the antiderivative of e to the x, which is e to the x. And here I'm finding the antiderivative of x to the negative 2. Well, that's by the power rule, right? So remember, the power rule says that the antiderivative of x to the n is what? X to the n plus 1 divided by n plus 1, right? So that's undoing the power rule from differentiation, if you recall. So just be careful here. Negative 2 plus 1 is a negative 1, not negative 3. So this will be x to the negative 1. Sorry, that's a negative 1 there, divided by negative 1. And then don't forget, when we're all said and done, we've got our plus c, our constant. You could have added, what about the plus c here? Well, they both have a plus c. Add them together, you get a plus c, right? A constant plus a constant, just some constant. So we'll put them all at the end there. And then just clean this up a little bit because they typically want you to, to write it simplified. Negative 7 divided by negative 1 is positive 7. And we have x to the negative 1 power. So this is the answer. Now, if you want to rewrite this without the negative exponent, you can, because 7 times x to the negative 1 is 7 divided by x. So this would also be an acceptable answer for the antiderivative. They also ask you to check, of course, let's just do that. You simply take the derivative of what we just found and make sure you get back to what you started with. Well, what's the derivative of 8e to the x? Well, it's just 8e to the x, right? 8's a constant multiple. Derivative of e to the x is e to the x. 7, pull that out. What's the derivative of x to the negative 1? Derivative, right, we bring the negative 1 down. X to what? Subtract 1 from negative 1 gives me negative 2. And so this simplifies down to plus 7 times negative 1, negative 7x to the negative 2. And this is the original function that we were integrating. Okay, hope this is helpful.